Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a look on this look that I did a while back on, I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of like a going out look for the summer. You know, if you're going out with your friends, if you're going to an event at night. So I'm going to be doing a look on that. I've been wanting to do that for a while now because a lot of people seem to like it and I liked it a lot and how it turned out. So we're going to be, I believe in this picture I used the Morphe 35K palette, but instead I'm going to be using the 35O because I know I already did a tutorial on the 35K and I want to switch it up a little bit. I don't want to have to seem like I'm repeating looks a lot. So we're going to be using this palette. It's one of my favorite palettes and I'm actually shocked by now that I haven't like come up with anything for it yet as far as doing a tutorial. So we're going to be using that, and I want to do like kind of like a fall lip, I guess. I mean, I know I said it was like a summer night tutorial, but I'm going to be using more of a burgundy lip for this look. So I'm going to start by priming my face with the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. I love this primer. It's really nice for dry skin. I mean, I don't know if it's specifically made for dry skin, but I like it a lot. It moisturizes my face really well. I feel like it really hydrates me. I love the smell. It's got like this citrusy smell. So I only take about one pump because it is already getting to the bottom. I only purchased this maybe like a couple months ago and it's already to the bottom because I use it like every day. And it's $38, so I try to make do with what I have and just only use one pump every day. So I'm gonna put that all over my face. I already moisturized, by the way. I moisturized with the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Gel, which I know is actually made more for oily skin, but my mom got it a while back and I actually stole it from her and started using it and I really liked it. I liked how it felt on my face, so she got me it for Christmas and I started using it. So even though it's made for more oily skin, I'm more dry, I still like to use it. I mean, I haven't noticed anything bad about it with my skin. I really like it, so that's my moisturizer that I use daily. So I'm going to take my damp beauty blender and I'm going to use, you know what, why not? Let's go with the Tarte Amazonian Clay foundation. I really like this foundation a lot. I used it on one of my friends. I did her makeup a couple of times, and this is her daily foundation that she uses. It's more full coverage, but it like applied so nicely to her skin, so I decided to get it for myself. And I really like it, how it wears on my skin. So I guess it was on the box and I threw out the box, but literally with this foundation, there are about maybe like 20 different shades. But I want to say I'm maybe like the third or fourth shade in because I'm so pale. So I try not to take, once again, I'm trying not to put a whole lot on my hand. Maybe like that. I'm probably going to need more than that. And I just like to do a rapid dabbing motion and just go down onto my neck slightly to blend it down onto my neck, since my face is really pale and my neck, I don't know, my neck's really pale too, so it really makes a difference, but we don't want the face to look like a different shade than the neck. So yeah, I knew I was going to need more. I already kind of ran out, so I'm just going to put a little more on my hand. Make sure you get into the little crevices in your nose here, and sometimes I forget to do that, and then throughout the day you should be spraying a setting spray so it won't really do that, but I like to go like that so that I really get in the crevices in my nose. Okay, now I'm going to prime my eyes with my favorite primer by MAC. This is Soft Ochre. A lot of people seem to really like this primer. This is more like yellow toned. I have more pinky tones, so sometimes I use Painterly as well. And I just apply this with my finger. concealer, I'm going to be using concealer by Morphe. I haven't heard a lot of reviews on this concealer yet. Oh, I purchased this about like, I want to say maybe a month ago, and it's almost completely out, so I feel like they don't really put a whole lot in there, or maybe I'm just using too much. So we're going to be using khaki to conceal, and I really like it. There's not really much negative things I have to say about it. I will cream contour my nose before I set it with powder. Otherwise, I don't really cream contour the rest of my face, but my nose I will. Even though my nose, I mean, I don't really have many bad things to say about my nose. I'm pretty satisfied with it. It's pretty small, but I still like to contour it to give it a little more shape and of that contoured effect. So I will use, Maybelline just came out with this. It's a contour stick. It has the contour shade on the one side and the highlighting shade on the other side. So I'm going to use contour side to contour my nose. I'll just bring it down on either side, and literally I'll just blend it out with my finger. And this isn't a step that you need to do obviously every single time you're doing your makeup. But since this is a going out look for nighttime, I'm going to contour my nose because usually I do before I go out. And then I'll just use the highlighting side to bring down the bridge of my nose, and that I will blend out with my beauty blender. And we're going to set all this at the very end after we're completely done our face. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and do my brows off camera because I already have a tutorial on that. So you can go ahead and go to my other videos that I've already filmed, and you can go ahead and check out that tutorial as well if you'd like to see how I do my brows every day. Okay, much better. So usually before I do my makeup at all, I usually will highlight my inner corners with NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Milk. So I'm going to do that first because I always like to have that inner corner highlight. Just like that, and of course we're going to blend that out. We're not going to leave it all sloppy looking like that. Okay, so now I'm going to be taking my Morphe palette with a fluffy blending brush. I'm going to be taking this shade up here, second one over in the first row, and a tiny bit of this one just to set my primer. Just because the MAC primer that we use is pretty tacky, and sometimes if you don't set the primer, the shadows won't apply as nicely. So yeah, I just use something as close to my skin tone as possible just to blend out the primer because we don't really need actual color for that. We're just setting the primer. Okay, so I'm going to be taking this white shade at the top. It's the very first one in the palette at the top. Okay, now I'm going to be taking this shade right here. It's the fourth one over in the second row. It's just a nice transition color, a little bit of a peachy tone. Okay, with an angled brush, I'm going to be taking that white shade again, and I'm going to be highlighting my brow bone with that. So the shade right here. Okay, so now I'm going to be taking, it's the fourth row down and fifth color over. This is more of a shimmery brown. I want something shimmery in the crease this time. Okay, so now for my lid shade, I'm going to take the third color from the left on the first row. That's going to be my lid color. Just going to take a flat shader brush. is a summer night tutorial for a night look, I still want to keep it kind of light on the eyes because I am going to do like a darker lip a little bit, more of a burgundy lip. So I'm going to take a brown just to deepen up the crease, but not something that's not too dark of a brown. So I'm going to take the brown that's right next to that shimmery brown that I used to the left of it. So it's the fourth one down, fourth one over. So I'm going to take the more tapered side of my blending brush. So to blend out the crease, I'm going to take that shimmery brown again. I'm going to take a little tiny bit of that, and then also that peachy transition shade that we started out with in the beginning. I'm going to mix those two. Just to blend out any harshness that's in the upper crease area.
You make me feel good.
With another fluffy blending brush, this is the Sigma E40 blending brush. I'm gonna take that shimmery brown that I used again for the crease, and then just lightly touch up any of the outer V area that might have got lost when we were touching up the lid. So I don't know, I'm still not completely satisfied with the lid shade that much. It's not really that bright. I feel like I might have used something else in that picture. 'Cause it was a couple weeks, it was like a month ago, so I don't really remember exactly what I used on my lid. I know I definitely used the Morphe palette, but for the lid shade, I'm not sure. So I'm actually, because I want it to be a little bit brighter than it is, so I'm gonna go ahead and take from my just random Z palette. It's got MAC shadows and some Makeup Geek shadows in it. I'm gonna take this shade right here, which is Starry Eyed. It's a foiled shadow by Makeup Geek. So I'm gonna put that on top of my lid shade that I already have on there, just to brighten it up a little bit. There we go, it looks a lot more like the picture. Okay, so now with a fluffy powder brush like this is, it's a Kabuki brush by Sigma. I'm gonna be taking my Rimmel Stay Matte translucent powder to set the rest of my face. So this is like a really light setting powder. I usually use the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Natural, but that's pretty heavy, and I'm not going anywhere today, so I'm just gonna be using something light. So that's why I chose to use the Stay Matte powder by Rimmel. Okay, so before I start doing my bronzer and blush, I'm gonna be taking another translucent powder. This is a loose powder by Covergirl. It's literally a dupe for the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and it's a lot cheaper. The only bad thing that I have to say about it is that the smell is very powerful. It's like a floral scent, but it's very prominent. So if you're very highly allergic to certain things and you get really sneezy easily, I wouldn't recommend this. I would probably just pick up the Laura Mercier powder, just because the scent is very strong. It literally looks the exact same as the Laura Mercier powder. So I'm just gonna dip my beauty sponge into it, and I'm just gonna place that right underneath where I put my concealer, so that that'll set and it won't crease throughout the day. So funny, never in my life would I think that I would ever use anything by Covergirl, because it's just like a cheapy brand, and my favorite drugstore brands are Maybelline and L'Oreal. I'm actually gonna cream contour where I put my bronzer first. I'm gonna put my bronzer down, then I'm gonna cream contour underneath it before I put any translucent powder underneath there. So this is a contour brush that I got from Sephora a long time ago, so I'm gonna use that. I don't use it a whole lot, but When I want that sharp defined contour, I'll use this. Otherwise, I'll use this brush. Looks like so ghetto because I've had it for so long and I use it all the time. But it's my Bare Minerals brush. And this is a blush brush, but I use it for contouring and bronzing. Like if I just want to bronze and I don't have time to contour, I'll use this. Oh my gosh, it looks bad. I know, I need to get like a new bronzing brush. So I'm gonna be taking, this is a little palette that came with the Tarte Holidaze palette for Christmas. It was a limited edition. This is like a tiny palette that came inside of it. And when you open it up, it just has a couple of shadows and then it has a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter in it. I really like the bronzer that's in it. It's called Social Butterfly. So I'm just gonna swirl my brush into bronzer like that. And I'm gonna use this to contour my face. A little bit. For some weird reason, I always feel like this side always turns out better than this side. I don't know why. It's like this side just doesn't want to keep that sharp line and this side does. I don't know why. It's like the weirdest thing. I don't know if anyone else feels like that, but I always feel like that. Maybe I need to like pinch the brush a little more. I don't know. So I'm gonna take that Maybelline contour stick again and I'm going to cream contour the underneath of my bronzer that I just put there. And usually I'll take it all the way down. Like I don't try to take my contour all the way to my mouth, but usually usually I will take this all the way down to my mouth and I'll blend that out with my beauty sponge. And now I'm going to take my translucent powder again, the loose powder from Covergirl. I'm going to dip my beauty blender in there. And then I'm going to set where I put that cream contour. Even though I blended it out, I'm going to set it. Just because this side looks darker than this side, that always happens too. I don't know why. I guess it's just like an illusion. Maybe I'm the only one that notices it. I'm just going to place a tiny bit more powder on this side. And I'm just going to let that set. Now I'm going to grab my blush brush. I'm going to take my BH Cosmetics blush kit. And I'm going to take this center blush on the bottom row right here. And I'm going to use that as my blush. And after I'm done with my blush, I'm going to wipe away the translucent powder that I used to set my face with. Okay, and before I highlight my face, I'm going to do my eyeliner. So I'm going to take my NYC liquid liner in black, and I'm going to do a wing. After my wing, I'm going to do my bottom lash line. I'm just going to put shadow under there. Sometimes I like to smudge like a pencil liner under there, but today, because I'm going to maybe do something a little bit darker, looking at the colors I have, I think I'm going to do this burgundy color right here, right in the center. So this is the third row down and the fourth shade over. So I'm gonna just tap. This is a really small flat brush. This is a flat liner brush. You can use this for gel liner or for shadow. I use it mainly for shadow. Just gonna take that and just draw a line upward like this. If you need to, you can go over your wing right there if you mess up. I'm gonna take some mascara. This is the Benefit They're Real mascara. Okay, and now I'm gonna highlight my face. I'm gonna use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Gleam kit. This is the lighter one. And I'm gonna take Mimosa. And I'm also going to take the shade Starburst. And also go down the bridge of my nose, and my Cupid's bow, and just a tiny bit on my temples. Okay, and then for my lips, I'm gonna be taking this Hydra Matte Liquid Lipstick by Gerard Cosmetics. It's called Cher. Okay, so first I'm going to moisturize my lips. This is a chapstick by Yes to Carrots. It's just like a lip butter, same as a chapstick. So I always like to moisturize my lips first. And then we're gonna be taking Gerard Cosmetics, the Hydra Matte Liquid Lipstick in Cher. It's like a pinky burgundy color. That's how I guess I would describe it. And there you have it, that's the finished look. So I hope everybody enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know if you want to see anything else. You can comment in the comments below. Let me know what else you would like to see. I know that fall's coming up and been pretty late with this summer nights tutorial, but I know I've been wanting to film that ever since I posted that picture. So yeah, let me know, give this video a like if you liked it. And then, like I said, if you want to see anything else, just let me know. Otherwise, hope you guys liked the video. Bye, until next time.